Where did that middle guy go to?
No. I have to disagree in that respect. Is that you have a bunch of middle guys at the NBA level. The problem at the NBA level is you got a bunch of prima donnas. Now I can guarantee you that you take a Steph Curry with all his ability, but if you put him back in the 80s and the 70s, where a player like Augment or a player that would designate. See, back in the day when and what I'm talking about, that toughness, when Steph Curry would walk on the floor, I would automatically say, I got him. I'm shutting him down. So is his ability that good? He's going to have to show me, like I go back to gladiator school, where I'm going to put everything I have into shutting him down. As a team, that's what we would say. We would get beat, but it ain't going to be by him. And so that made every player on the team important. There, it wasn't no, I'm supposed to take a pay cut for Steph Curry, but no, I'm just as good as Steph Curry. I do other things because, again, there's one basketball and everybody can't shoot it at the same time, so somebody has to do some intangibles. And, again, I don't even watch professional basketball until the playoffs, where you have some remnants of a defensive game being played. Because, contrary to what people believe, defense wins games and championships, not offense.
I'm glad you said that because, if we got a league full of prima donnas and some dudes who are also ran, is that a product of the AAU system? Is that a product of lack of actual coaching? Where did that guy go to? Because I'm with you. I remember seeing Stacey Osman, Mookie Blaylock, Joe Dumas, Dennis Rodman, Scottie Pippen doing that thing. Rory Sparrow. Where are those guys at? Because I only see the superstars and the dudes that I'm looking at going, how the hell did you get in the league?
It's a product of segregation. It's a product of watered downness. You have too many leagues. Let me bag up. High school now has evolved to a recruiting game.
Okay.
It's a money game. Everything has evolved around money. So therefore, a kid, AAU, if he's playing 8 to 10 games, when does he have time to work on his basketball IQ and his fundamentals? I mean, when? He could care less if he wins or loses. Because I'm going to play another game tomorrow, or we got another game at 4 o'clock. So I can't put my all in this game because we got another game at 4. We'll do just enough. And inherently, that breeds mediocrity, man. That doesn't breed a person that every time I step on the floor, it's 100 all the time. We played, you had one pair of gym shoes, dude, and it lasts you 6 months to 8 months. These kids got 10 to 20 pair of gym shoes. So there's no drive. There's no incentive for me to get better other than to be told that I'm good and then to be treated like I'm a superstar. And you just if you got, for instance, in the Chicago public school system, you got 200 schools. Used to be a kid stayed at his neighborhood school. So those neighborhood schools, you didn't have to go out and recruit because the schools within my neighborhood, that school in my neighborhood, there were, like I said, 200 kids coming out for maybe 4 spots. So with AAU, with the inception of AAU, you have sponsorship. You have the street agent. You have people looking for the next meal ticket. And if you don't pan out, they spit you out. It's a money game. It's evolved into a money game. And I don't have a problem with it because that's what society is all about, money. But Old school, you have a love for this game, man. You have a love for this game, and once you seem like they pay these kids or they show these kids the monetary side of this game, it's gone.
So, wow. When, you know what? I actually feel the same way about AAU, and I actually didn't think that deep into it because I just said they ain't care because I said it that they didn't care because they were playing so many games. But I didn't even think back to the fact that you're not practicing. You're just playing, and you do lose the hunger because, like you said, when we played, you played once a week, maybe twice a week, and if you lost, you had 5 to 7 days to let that sink in and burn. And if there's no burn, there's no drive. If no drive, you don't need to get better because, like you said, if somebody sliding you a couple of dollars, they sliding you some gear, and they telling you good. Is there any way to fix that? Because I want to keep going into the direction of that money because that leads me into this Sean Miller thing. But I want to know, do you think it's any way we can fix that?
Well, it's going to be hard because if you think back, like I said, I'm 60. So if you think back, man, we had opportunities to play basketball twice a year. Mm-hmm. Summer, when we were out of school, tournaments, and winter when the season. But you had football, you had baseball. I mean, we were seasonal athletes almost. We until you really zeroed in on what you were gonna do, you played seasonal sports, and so you appreciated when it came time to play basketball. We got down with ball because we knew the time to play ball would be limited. So you gotta understand these are kids. They need rest. They need regeneration. All of that is falling by the wayside. So if I don't care what you do. If you do it consistently, you are going to get tired. Your energy level is not going to be there. Your drive is not going to be there. Now, I'm not going to say the passion won't because it's what you do, but at some point there's going to be peaks and valleys. And when we came up, we didn't have those peaks and valleys because the next peak was baseball season. The next peak was football season. So you were always peaking. You were always trying to be the best you could. And again, man, you had to really work hard at your craft. Now genetics come into play, and you got some kids that are just super talented, and that's good. But once again, man, the drive, the dedication to this sport is not the same. It's just not the same, and that's just in my opinion. I love watching basketball. I'm gonna love basketball until they put me in the ground. However, it's just not the same in terms of the levels of competing. In the NBA, you have the best athletes in the world playing the game, but they're getting $200 million to play it, and sometimes, are they for themselves? Can they turn that into, man, I ain't getting mine, or I'm getting mine, so I'm the man. You just do what you told and work around me. It's a sad thing, man. But I don't know. I really, at this point, don't know what can change the lower levels' attitude towards the game because the money factor. I think that's the driving factor in all of this. The generation of this shit is excuse my French, the money.
No, it's cool. We don't have no rules like that. It's cool. It's all good. But now, when you say the money aspect, that's what I want to get into. This whole NCAA situation where I think it's a farce. I think it's a crock of nonsense. I think, like you said, it's about the money. And me and you both know it's always been at some level about the money because whether it was like you 60, I'm 47. It was people getting slid a couple of dollars when you were younger, and there's people getting slid a couple of dollars when I was younger. what I really believe, since the sneaker companies are involved now, I think the middleman, which used to be the coach, is tired of sliding the street agent and the AAU coach some money. So what they're gonna do is clean out those bottom feeders, so it could just be sneaker company, college coach, kid, so they can dominate the kid. What do you say to that?
Again, man, when you say it used to be, if there was any the coach would be the driving factor. The high school coach would be the driving factor. The college coach would be the second person, and they would get together and steer a particular player to a certain place. If a player had 5 Division I offers, 5 Division I offers, the deciding factor would be, okay, I got Duke, I got North Carolina. What and all things being equal, what makes me want to come to Duke more than North Carolina? And that particular coach would say, okay, what do you need to make this happen? And therein lies the issue. Now, those two people used to negotiate that. But with the onset of gym shoe companies and sponsorships, whatever it takes, whatever he says he needs, we're gonna make that happen. We're gonna for one player, I'll give you let's say, and you know the game. For one player, we will uniform and supply your entire football team, and we'll supply your entire basketball team.
Okay.
So, of course, that coach then is going to send that player to that school because he's going to fund my program for the next 2 years. Now, I got another 2 players. That's my money. That's my money. And again, the game has evolved to that. So the kid knows I'm good enough to get paid. So here come my mama. I need something for them. I need something. But that's the nature of the beast when you're in a capitalist society. That's the nature of the beast. And I ain't mad at them. What I think they need to do is just cut all the crap out and pay the kids. I'm going to give you a stipend. You come to my school, I'm going to pay you $100,000 in addition to a college scholarship to get a college degree every year you stay here. And that'll fix everything, man. That'll fix it all. Because you're giving the kid what he deserves based on his earnings, because you and I both know that me paying this kid, giving this kid a scholarship and giving him $100,000 under the table is less than 1% of the money they make in terms of revenues off of them players.
Okay.
You know it, I know it.
I'm me and you are in we in marching band step. I'm dead on with that. But I'm gonna play devil's advocate. What about these guys who sit around and say, but all these schools can't afford that? What do you do for the little schools like Chicago State?
Unfortunately, Chicago State is not in a. This is TV revenue sponsorship. Period. End of story. TV revenue sponsorships, marketing. So the reason Chicago State can't get that type of money for the conference they're in is because there's no market. They're not in the market. They don't have the means to compete in the SEC or the Big East. So you almost got to stay in your lane, so to speak, and in my opinion, though, we have gotten out of